Good evening. It's been a while since we've all seen each other. I believe November was the last time we saw each other. Thank you all for coming tonight. First, let me start off by thanking those of you that came to Citizen of the Year. The dinner blew me away to see everybody from the videos to the people that got up and spoke. I'm so incredibly thankful that you were all there. Um, this may be of interest. Following along with Citizen of the Year, I was contacted by Nick Laratunda from the city of Absecon, and Jeff Van Drew is going to be presenting me with something either at the field or at the Faces fundraiser in April. It is a challenge going. He wanted to present it to me himself. So just keep that in the back of your minds. And one either Saturday, April 13th at the field or Sunday, April 14th at the fundraiser in Wildwood. Details. I should have more information hopefully tomorrow. New date is June 10th. For those of you that did not already know that, we've moved it from that because Rev and I found one of the possible reasons for lowered attendance last year could have been that we had it right up against annual conference. I have no idea. We have no idea. Also, before I get into business, I would like to introduce Rebecca McNeil. She is from Governor Murphy's staff. And I believe, Brad, is that you from Don Guardian's staff?
Yep, it is Jacob. How you
doing? Okay, I thought so. Thank you both for being here. Seating arrangements. We are losing, well, a few people cannot participate this year. So I've talked to the Rev and a few others. We feel that instead of moving people around, trying to find people to take seats, we feel that it would be right. Belinda, who is not here, she will be taking over in Zach's seat. And Dave Damiani, who a few of you know, will not be here will not be with us the night of because he will be out of the country on vacation. Sal the Voice will be taking his seat next to me this year. We felt that that was easiest because Sal will be with me all 3 days when we are together in June. You may not think that it's a big job to sit between me, with Stephanie and Dave and Sal have done for the past 3 years, but it is a huge job. They are watching the audience, they are watching the timekeepers, they are watching me, they're watching the entire event, and they're in my ear constantly about what needs to be done. And I need a lot of help up there for things like that. There's a monitor, and so on. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. On that note of seating arrangements, we are paying tribute this year to Joe Brown. He advocated for accessibility up and down, statewide, Washington, D.C., and all over the tri-state. As I said, D.C. A dear friend of his, John Glassy, is with us tonight. John, why don't you tell those that don't know Joe as well, if you tell them what he did in his life and all the wonderful things.
Joe was injured in a car accident while he was in the United States Air Force. He was paralyzed from the neck down. He was a functional quadriplegic. Decided that he was going to do as much with his life as possible in spite of that. He married a wonderful girl who had been his girlfriend before the accident, stayed with him and married him throughout his life. He was on the very first Disabled Advisory Board to Atlantic County. He eventually became the chairman of that board. In fact, he was the chairman at the time of his death this year in August. He was on the White House Conference for the Employment of the Handicapped. We were both delegates at that conference for several years. I don't know how many years, but I would guess 7 or 8 years. We were very involved in writing the handicap accessibility law that is now the federal law. We participated in that for years, literally for 7 or 8 years. And then Joe branched out, besides being on the Field of Dreams board, the Donny Fund board, the Special Olympics board, all these other charities, on the Disabled American Veterans Board. Joe also was one of the ones who led into the idea of having beds in hotels so that disabled people who needed a Hoyer lift to get in and out of bed still would have some rooms available in almost all public accommodations. And Joe spearheaded that nationwide and was successful in getting that implemented. He just did a phenomenal amount of things. He's one of the best human beings I ever met.
John, I echo those statements, and I know a few of the people here, Barb and would agree with me. So thank you, John, for being with us tonight. Now I'm going a little out of order on the agenda. I would like to call Rev Dave's attention so Rebecca and Brett know why we are here tonight. Rev.
Well, I'll just give a little bit of background on where we came from and where we hope to go. So I've been serving as the pastor of our local church, where a few people on this call attend. And of course, as have thousands of others, got friendly with Jacob very quickly. And so we started, I was supporting him as he was giving talks at different venues. And one particular venue came up where he was starting to feel like he wasn't 100% being respected, showed up with very little information, didn't even really know where they were going to drop him off, where he was going, if he'd be able to get there on property. And so, I was supporting him through that. I was supposed to be there, but my son ended up in the hospital, and so I attended virtually. But still, leading up to the day, Jacob wasn't very sure how seriously the venue was taking his topic. And so to make him feel better, but also as the pastor of the church, to kind of get us involved in some social justice issues and some community topics, I promised him that if he didn't feel like that day went well, or even if it did, we would do it right at our church, that our church would host an advocacy event every year where we would educate and advocate, where we would bring up issues in transportation and buildings and programs, acknowledging things like just because you can get in the building doesn't mean that the programs inside the building are meant for you or accessible to you. And so we're coming up on our 3rd annual event now, and we're watching this transform. We're watching it become whatever it's going to become. But so now that we've got a few years under us, we want to start telling success stories. We want to start going out into the community, visiting venues that are both doing things well and not well, so that we can then use what we've learned to educate and advocate better as a committee, and then whoever is attending the annual accessibility night. Uh, Attendance has been between 60 and 100 people in person, but then more than 100 online. We also we live stream it from our church. And so we know our message is getting out there. Of course, Jacob has a lot of contacts, especially in the entertainment industry, which doesn't hurt. But we really want to raise awareness, and hopefully our work, inspired by Jacob, will inspire real change in our community.
Thank you, Rev. One of the things I have to say that I have appreciated, and I've told a few of you this over the phone. Monday, Governor Murphy called me, and we all know politicians. They can love you or they can turn you over and go next time. But no, Governor Murphy called me Monday. I told my story. I said, here's what I'm looking to do. He said, at first I asked him, do you have a few minutes to speak to me? Because and I addressed my concerns with Access Link. I addressed my concerns with handicap parking spaces. Lynn Caterson, who is a lawyer and a member of our church, helped me write a letter to his staffers. Rebecca, I can forward you that email tonight. And, we all know, like I said, politicians can go any which way. But I asked the governor at the end of our phone call, I said, first I invited him to the Field of Dreams, which he's very interested in coming to it. We're working on scheduling. But one of the things I asked him at the end of our phone call was, I said, Governor, can I save your phone number? And he said, absolutely. And here is an example that I will give you. Today, I was looking to see if I could go somewhere in Access Link in April to Lakewood, because as most of you know, New Jersey Transit has a direct route straight through Lakewood. And I called the Access Link address in Fairline several times because I thought I was being misheard. And they said, we do not go there. They do not go. And I told Brett this via email today. They do not go to the Lakewood Blue Paws Stadium. And I thought, something's just not right here. So I reached out to the governor via text today, and he set me up with a few of his staffers, and it wasn't even within 5 minutes that Rebecca was on the phone to me, and we were coordinating emails, and that tells you that politicians, they do care and they want to see change. Just a success story I had to share.
That's great.
On that, I'm going to go to seating arrangements. Seating arrangements, I will be in the middle. Stephanie will be to my left. Sal will be to my right. John, you are welcome to sit up there with us. You can sit to Sal's right. What I'm going to do this year, and we've never done it before. Well, we kind of did it last year. How everybody ebbed and flowed when they sat down was Some of you will be on the left side, some of you will be on the right side. Um, the farther you sit to, Stephanie's on my left, so the farther you sit to the left, I've noticed the harder it is to see. And I especially paid attention to that. What after year one's event, people were like peeking their head through, trying to see, because it is hard to see. So Rev and I have reconfigured the seating arrangement, last year's seating arrangement. Those of you that were with us no, and thought that it worked very, very well. So last year's seating arrangement is not changing. John, you can sit on Sal's side of the table. Kathleen, my mom, and Belinda will sit on Stephanie's side of the table, and that's how that will go.
If I sit on the right side, do I get the bill? If I'm up at that head table, I have a feeling at the end of the night, I'm gonna get the cashier's check.
Absolutely, John, absolutely.
John, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, that's not a problem. So that's how the night will go. Order. I kind of have the order in my head. I will write something more formal as we go. John will do, Lynn Caterson is going to do my intro this year, talk about Citizen of the Year, and so on. She's going to do my intro. Then John will speak on behalf of Joe. John, you take as much time as your heart desires. I know you two were dear friends for what, over 50 what did you tell me, 57 years?
We were actually friends for almost 70 years.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. So John, you take as much time as you need. I'll get rolling. I'll go first. Rev is going to help me configure some information that I could share along with my Citizen of the Year platform, advocacy, and so on. So that's what I'm going to do. Then Belinda will go after me. Stephanie will go after that. And then Kathleen, you'll follow after Stephanie. We'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up with Sal at the end with the video dedicated to it's half and half, John. It's dedicated to myself and the field for all we've done. And then he's going to sing My Way and a couple other things at the end. And then the night will be over. So that's the night as a whole. Okay, this is the last topic for the evening. I think. Hold on. Tom's River. I went out of order. Tom's River. As some of you may know, Tom's River has a Field of Dreams. They got the idea from us. They visited us and decided to build a multi-million-dollar complex of their own. And it's gorgeous. I mean, I believe Barb saw it on TV, and she texted me about it afterwards, and she said, "Did you see this?" And with that, I flicked on the TV. It's gorgeous. Rev and I are working with them, as well as an ex-pastor that used to be at our church who works up there, to get together with him. We don't know if that's going to happen. I'm playing email phone tag with people, and you'll know how much fun that is. And this is the last topic that I have here for the night. As many of you know, Sal will be with me in one weekend in April, the weekend of the 5th, 6th, and 7th, and then our forum weekend, June 8th, 9th, and 10th. I don't have to tell the story again, but he had surgery. He's assured me that he's okay to lift. I feel like we need a little extra help. I would like, this is where I was looking for opinions. Anyone have any ideas?
What do you need help with?
Just Kim, when I'm in the bathroom, if he needs help, like lifting so he doesn't hurt himself again.
Oh, okay.
Just basic things like that.
So you prefer a male?
Well, male or female, it doesn't matter. I'm used to anything now.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm
Well-
there and something happens and you need help, we jump in.
Yeah. Same here.
All right. Like I said,
Just don't be bulking up too much so we can't lift you.
All these award dinners, you never know.
Yeah.
you don't know where I'm gonna be between now and then. But that, like I said, guys, that's just a thought, and I believe that's all I have here. One of the things for those of you that send slides in, start thinking about what you want to incorporate and what you want to put into your presentations. Other than that, I can't think of. Next meeting is April 11th. If you are interested, Sal will be with me at the church on April 7th doing some pre-work with Rev and Priscilla Cunningham, who is our organist. If you would like to come talk to him, talk to us, you're more than welcome, but the next meeting is not till April 11th. Comments, questions, anything at all?
What's the end result of this night, this event, other than saying you're the best thing since sliced bread in America? What is the deliverable we're trying to come to at the end of this event?
John, well, I've said since year one, my hope is to send people out in the community and then make them aware of such issues. How can you make sure that an automatic door is equipped appropriately? Thank you, Mom. Works. Just making people aware of issues, like if they see things in buildings, or just trying to make people aware.
Are we not, or no, we not, please forgive me, Reverend, are we not preaching to the choir here? The people that are going to come to this are already people that are out there doing this work or do these things.
At one point, didn't we talk about how to spread the word about the event?
Yes, we did, and I'm working on it. I've already talked to Lisa Johnson about a press release.
I think people are aware of basic strategies that are employed by businesses to for accessibility for individuals who need it, but stuff that you don't think about. Like when Jacob and I and Chris go away to Erie to see Riley, we asked for a room with a handicap accessible bathroom. It still has a tub in it. The tub doesn't fit a chair that we have to bring to bathe him. But you know what? It has a handrail and it has a shower head that comes off the wall. So that makes it accessible. Not for us.
Right.
just things like that you might not even think of because you don't need it. I know experience with my mother and my father, even a lip, to be able to step over a lip can be dangerous for them. So that's not accessible either.
Yeah, my sister has run into the same problem with hotels. As far as they say it's handicap accessible, but when she gets in there, it's not. It
Exactly.
doesn't work. Yeah. So.
It-
Some hotel rooms that say that they're accessible are so narrow that we have to leave Jacob's stroller by the door that gets into the room and then carry him the rest of the way in. I'm only using a hotel as an example because we've just been in a couple.
That's why in the law, the federal law says accessible and usable for the handicapped. The
Well-
term usable was inserted in there on purpose for those exact reasons. So
Right.
what I'm suggesting that takeaway from this, a deliverable of this night, might be the fact that we gather some materials that we can put in people's hands so
Yeah.
that then they explain it to someone else. They actually have some backup rather than just words that go in one ear and out the other. We can actually give them some information. It's
Right.
like Joe
Great
Brown and I had this parking ticket thing, which I'm sure you've all seen at one time or another, a blue parking ticket that we put in on underneath windshield wipers of a person who parks in a handicap spot, doesn't have a handicap tag. And we tell them all the time, we say, this is a handicap spot. And being lazy is not a handicap, so don't park here.
Right. So true.
So I think we might all ask everyone to bring to the planning sessions some ideas of deliverables that we can put together in a packet that people that night can walk away with a little goodie bag that has some real functional, usable information in it. I'm sure the governor's office can give us some stuff. I'm sure that Van Drew's office can give us some stuff. There's plenty of places we can get things from.
Right.
I think too, we have to remember we also want to give success stories because there is success with some of the things that have happened from Joe, even when Joe Brown was doing it, there's success stories. And I think that was one of the things we wanted to get across too, that there are things that are good that are happening that is opening up accessibility for a lot of people. The other thing too, Jacob, I wanted to bring up about the advertising. We have got to get this out well
You're right.
before the date. I think that was another problem last year. We did not get it out soon enough.
So
And I
how do you
think
suggest we do
that
that?
prevented some people. What?
So how do you suggest we do that?
Like a flyer or things for social media, whatever we're going to put out for advertising.
Well,
Right.
it was posted all over social media.
Okay.
So maybe
well,
we need-
I didn't do. I thought we didn't do it soon enough. That was just my.
Well, we
opinion.
might not have done it soon enough, but I'm saying like there's got to be other ways to reach people, and there's no funding
Oh, right.
to provide. There's no funding to provide like a radio announcement or something. So, how else do you do that besides word of mouth?
Right.
Right.
And I'm being honest, and I was just found this out. The press only operates 3 days a week now, so it's almost next to impossible to put something in there. Like I said, I could talk to Lisa. Wibbage does community happenings. I could send something to John Lockwood, who's in charge of that. John, I know you know him.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
They might do that one time, but they're not going to necessarily do it repeatedly. They'll give you one free shout out, but what about the other months?
Yeah.
So I think that it is an issue, it's the main issue, as to be able to spread the word, but we need to come up with a way to be able to do that.
Right. How about leaving a pamphlet, like we could generate a pamphlet and leave it in local businesses or,
Fine with me, we could even make like little posters and put them in local businesses, I don't have a problem with that, I don't even have a problem with funding some of it, but you know what I mean, like how much?
yeah, right, right. And I'd be willing to help with that. I mean, I'm not the best on the computer, but I've made them before. And posters, I mean, definitely could do that.
So I think that's a very large issue, even getting the word out to other churches would be good. But I don't know how, that's not my thing, I don't know how to do that.
You could also go out to some of the schools, to the special ed departments. We could get if we have a flyer, which we had, Jacob, the one that we had used. I don't know what Lisa Johnson had used last year, but we could get a flyer out. We could get it mailed to some of the schools.
Right,
Well,
the
there's a lot of
schools
us that know teachers that we could get. They could take them to the school instead of us having to mail everything. But we could do something like that too, which would help. That would be it, because a lot of the special ed departments want their teachers to know about all these kind of things too. So, I mean, we have to look at a lot of avenues to get the word out.
How about a phone message through the Field of Dreams to those parents?
You can do that, I don't know that that's, I'm not, I don't know.
John, could we put something in the newsletter?
Yeah, we can put something in the newsletter and we can, that phone blast goes out to almost 400 people. Ed Blake puts out a thing that goes to 1,800 people. You can go to the county superintendent's roundtable. That'll get it to all the school districts in Atlantic
Right.
County. The county prosecutor has started an initiative for autism and trying to train police officers and first responders how to react to
That's great.
potential people that are having some issues. The girl that used to be ahead of the Special Services School District, Barbara Morvay, has written a couple of books, and they recently had a seminar in Atlantic City. I'm sure the Reverend can take it to whatever church councils where there are different ministers there and that spread the word. I mean, there's a variety of ways you can get the word out. The question is, how big is the capacity to take in people? One of the other problems, if you have so many people show up and you don't have room for them, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Right. Are we meeting at the church again?
Mhm.
Yes, Monday, June 10th, Monday, June 10th at 7.
Yeah.
What's the
The other
capacity?
You can target
Pass it.
information out to is people with parents who now have had strokes or using a walker, so nursing homes and stuff like that.
Right.
The capacity of the Great Hall, I think it's about 200 seats. Right, Reverend Dave, I think it's that.
Yeah, yeah. That's with the stage in place.
Right.
I'm doing a resource fair at Special Services on March 20th. If we can get something out by,
Yeah.
okay, then I'll gladly bring stuff with me on the 20th of March to the school to put stuff out.
We should have something to put in the hand of every group that comes to the Field of Dreams. We get 1,000 volunteers there during the course of a year. And if we have something that we can put in their hands, the coordinator of whatever group it is, the Lions Club, the Stockton Physical Therapy Club, all those clubs, you could get the word out to a lot of people just with one small flyer.
Yeah.
Without your picture on it, Jacob, by the way.
We just have to sit down and do it.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, doesn't have to be glossy and all that kind of stuff. Just something with the basic information saying, get this word out to your people.
Yeah,
And
less is more.
Yeah.
and hopefully they do it.
Yeah.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him take a bath.
That's very, very true, John. Very, very true. I believe I've covered everything. So any comments, questions? Anything at all, gang?
I just think somebody needs to write down all the things that you want in the pamphlet, and then we need to get a volunteer or decide who's going to design it and go move forward with that.
Well, I'm making an official nomination right now. One of our committee members is very good with graphics. He does it all the time. He just did it for me for the fundraiser. I'm nominating Zach to do the flyer for us. Mom and Kim, I would like you two to do outreach.
Okay. Because we have big mouths.
Well, there's yeah, and I know you'll get the word out.
Okay. That's awesome.
John, this just came to my head. Would Sam announcing it over the PA system, would that be a help?
Sure. Again, we're preaching to the choir there. I mean, the people that are at the field, the parents that are there, they already pretty much get hammered all the time with stuff for deals. For them to get away on a Monday night to come to the church, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
But there's no harm in doing it. Let's put it that way. We should put it on the Field of Dreams website. We'll put it on the Donny Fund website. We'll put it on the Hoops and Margate website. We can get Ed Blake to put it on his thing that goes to 1,800 people. I mean, there's several outlets where we can get the word out to a lot of people. The question is, who's going to follow up and what's going to be the enticement for people to come in the evening. There might be some people assigned to come to this. There might be people from Stockton and stuff. Unfortunately, June 10th is going to be right at the end of the school year. So the school people are already going in 18 different directions. And the spring semester at Stockton will be over then. So you're running into those issues.
Brett, is there, and I'm just thinking, is there anything, of course, you don't like to get political, is there anything politically could you talk to Don or Joe?
Political, Jacob. I was just actually texting to see if I could ask some of the legislators if they would approve to use our list of people in the district. Given that it's not a partisan event, it would be a public service announcement, more in the way of coming to learn more about accessibility issues for residents in Atlantic County. And so I just wanted to see the feasibility of that and the legality too.
Perfect, thank you. Yeah, I've noticed as we've hit COVID, it's hard getting word out about things. And I don't know why. I mean, COVID isn't going anywhere.
It's going.
It's gone. It's gone.
Was it ever here?
Yeah, was it ever? Yeah, I'm having trouble with the same type of thing for an event I'm doing in April. One of my coordinators came to me today and said, we haven't sold anything yet, and I politely got back to him and said, it's the beginning of February, you have 2 months.
Yeah, but you should be selling, stuff should be done, you can't wait till the last minute.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's all for now. I will leave you with one last thing. We may be, and I mean maybe, having a March meeting, and the only reason why would be because Sal wants you committee people to help him with a video for the field for June. The taping would be in 2 sections during the month of April. The first weekend, which would be the 6th, and the last weekend, anybody have a calendar in front of them?
13th and 14th.
No, the last weekend.
I'll 20 do the
Yeah.
28th.
Yeah, Saturday the 28th. That's what, as of right now, that's what he's planning to do.
I also think, and I don't know, maybe this is just busy work, but we should start compiling lists of where we wanna put a poster or put out flyers that are gonna be most beneficial. I don't think that we should just say, hey, we're gonna do it. I think we need to compile a list of places, and then Kim and I can get together and we can do what we have.
Jacob, give your mom my number.
Got it.
But I don't think saying that we're just gonna do it, like even if just Kim and I get together and meet and compile a list of where we need to
Right.
advertise, so to speak.
Maybe, like Brett, you had said a few things. Maybe if you could find out, and then, if everyone could text that information or email it to the committee or to Jacob, so that we have a foundation to start with to generate these flyers.
Yep.
You know, would that work?
Yep.
Yep,
Alright.
Heidi, I will be sending you a list of organizations that will put out the PSA.
Perfect, thank
Awesome.
you.
And Kathleen, here's a thought. Acting Club,
Yep.
Definitely.
All right, guys, I have to go because I haven't had dinner yet, so I'm gonna go have dinner.
All right, thanks, John.
All right.
Thank
John.
you.
See you guys
Take care.
later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Anything else?
That's all I have here. Anything else, guys?
Do you have a secretary?
If the flyers are finished by March 20th, when you go to the resource fair, Jacob, I think that would be great.
Yeah, they need to be. Is Zach on the meeting?
Zach's not on the meeting, but
Well, we need to give him a date.
okay, we will.
There you go. All right, well, I'll coordinate with Heidi and,
Yeah,
we'll get moving on this.
sounds good, Kim.
All right.
Is there a secretary in this club?
Barb takes a lot of notes.
Okay, good. Just so somebody is taking notes of what's been said, what's being discussed, and what we're gonna do to move forward.
Right.
It's also
got that?
recorded, so we can always go back.
It's
Oh,
also
that's-
People fancy.
it's also recorded, so if you need to rewatch the meeting at any time,
That's
just.
fine. I just, yeah.
But I do have 2 secretaries, Barb and Naima are my
Good.
right hand women.
I think we just need to put everything into action. We always have a lot of good ideas and then we stop.
Right, exactly.
It's time to give it our all.
That's right. Put it into motion.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Good to see everyone.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Good to
Good night,
see you
everybody.
guys.
Have a good night.
Have a good
You
night.
too.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Right.